Mortal Kombat 4 was released in arcades in October of 1997. Before its release, it went on a tour of sorts. Midway took the game in a themed box truck to several arcades. These units were running a very early version of the game. It was missing some characters and didn't have endings for the characters that were there. Most of the battles on the tour were player versus player, so patrons never really got to see that there were no endings. These cabinets even had a second monitor attached to the top of them so the crowd waiting in line could watch the action.
I'm here to play Mortal Kombat 4.
It's just because it's Mortal Kombat, everybody's going to play it.
I wanted to be the first to play it.
It would be very interesting to know if anybody still has one of those early cabinets with the monitor on top. Once the game hit the arcades, it was running Revision 2, which was a more complete version of the game. It did have some big glitches that were later fixed by a ROM update. This update was performed by a crew that went to every single arcade that had a Mortal Kombat 4 cabinet and replaced the ROM chips for the operator. Revision 3 is the final version of the arcade game. Mortal Kombat 4 was definitely a change to the series. For starters, it was 3D, which was a first for the Mortal Kombat series. Each player had a weapon they could summon. Babalities, friendships, and animalities were removed from this game. The developers said it would be too difficult to show a transformation of a 3D character into an animal. However, Scorpion and Liu Kang both transform into a scorpion or a dragon. This is done by a curtain of fire or green mist covering the players as they change. The game lacks any notable boss character. Shinnok, who is a playable character, is the boss of the game. There are no four-armed or horse-like pre-bosses to get through on this one, unless you play the console versions. But that's another story. You can play as a hidden character called Meat. This character looks like a skinless human with the muscles and organs exposed. Mortal Kombat 4 is the first game of the series to have full-motion video-style endings. It's not quite video, though. The game renders these on the fly while voice actors tell the ending story with subtitles. This was the final Mortal Kombat arcade game of the series. Arcades were starting to lose popularity at the time. Consoles had become more powerful than the current arcade hardware, making it less likely for patrons to go insert money every time they wanted to play a lesser quality game. Mortal Kombat 4 is probably the least popular and most disliked game of the arcade series. I found the game to be a welcome change to the series. I just got a Mortal Kombat 4 arcade board and have it running in an arcade 1-up cabinet. Here's me playing a full run-through of Mortal Kombat 4, the arcade version. I'm going to play some Mortal Kombat 4, it's the arcade version, on my modified arcade 1-up. This is running the real arcade board if it's not mentioned earlier in the video. This is not emulation, it is the arcade board. So here we go. The game difficulty is set to medium, which is default. I'm going to do a run through as Scorpion. Hopefully it goes pretty well. I don't want to die too many times and look terrible. Let's go with Master 2, why not? This is the first playthrough video I'm going to do for this game. I'm going to end up doing more playthroughs of all the games as different characters. But Scorpion's kind of my go-to player. I don't know, he's pretty easy to play with in most Mortal Kombat games. Oh, wow. And I know his combos pretty well. Gameplay-wise, I think this is my favorite Mortal Kombat, and I know not a lot of people are going to agree with me on that one, but it's so fast. The AI isn't cheap. You know, even on medium difficulty, I can pretty much blow through the game without feeling like I'm getting cheated out of my money. Alright. One of my favorite fatalities of the game. I'm also trying a new recording setup here. You probably can't see it, but I'm recording on an iPhone and an iPad now. I'm going to see if that looks a little bit better. The iPhone isn't going to make the screen look warped or a different shape. I'm really glad I'm fighting Sonya early on because she is a pain when she gets high up that ladder. Like, she's probably the cheapest player in the game, and I don't really know why they made her like that. She tends to be the one to, you know, counter every single jump with a kick. One thing I noticed about this stage too is those faces in the background will change depending on if you do a fatality or not, and I've only seen it happen because of the angles. I only get to see it sometimes.
Oh, come on. Oh, okay. Alright, that works. Let's see if you can see the faces. They will start to have like a menacing smile on them when they see a fatality. It's usually the one to the right, I've noticed, so we're not going to see it. I really am happy that I was able to get the real arcade board for this game. This one was one that even with emulation is still kind of weird, so very happy to actually just have the real thing at home and I don't have to compromise or anything. I did have to compromise on the space requirements considering this is an arcade 1-up cabinet that's been reskinned to look like a Mortal Kombat 4, but I'm happy with that. You know, it's as close as I'm going to be able to get in this current home. You know, this room isn't going to be able to hold a full-size cabinet very easily. Oh. Good God. May have made a mistake playing on the Master 2 one. They definitely ramp up the difficulty a little more. That's a fun fatality. I did a playthrough before on the PC version of this, and you could argue that the PC version has some elements that look better than the arcade version, but I think that's just because when they made it for a higher resolution. This was made for an arcade monitor, which I can't remember the resolution on most of them, but it was pretty low. It was usually somewhere around, I think like 540 by, I don't know, I'm probably going to get it wrong, I'm not even going to say, but it was a lower, some of them used to output a lower resolution than even broadcast standard definition TV. I think Killer Instinct had a pretty low resolution too, which is funny considering the game looks great. Even by today's standards, I think Killer Instinct can hold up with, you know, some games that came out just this year or whatever. Lower end games, I mean, like indie games. I wouldn't say... It's funny, the rain stops every time something too intense happens on this game. Toasty 3D. That's one thing I love about this game. It's got so many weird little quirks. It's not perfect by any means, but it's almost lovable. You know, like the frame rate will drop tremendously on certain things, or you can kind of get stuck in the background. There's like clipping and stuff that happens, and I've seen little screen tearing things that happen on this arcade version. Uh-oh. I love that you can throw a kick in and then the air throw right as you're doing the kick, and you'll get an extra hit on your combo there. So I always do a jump kick, or jump in the air, hit high kick, and block in a row, and then it usually will add it to the combo like that. Let's try again. There we go. You gotta get the timing right though. It's gotta be pretty smooth. You can't do it too late, of course, or too quickly. Punishment. This is also my favorite Mortal Kombat arcade announcer. I can't speak for the console versions. I haven't played a lot of those, but for the arcade, this is my favorite announcer. Got him. I'll burn him up again, why not? I remember seeing that fatality for the first time in arcades and being like, oh wow, this is actually a really cool game. The fact that he was able to run in a circle just, I don't know, made me think like this is so futuristic, but you gotta remember it was 1997. Oh, God. Uh-oh. Oh, crap. I love getting them when they pull out their weapon. Oh, that was smooth. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Got me.
Round 2, fight!
Alright, I don't know what happened there. There we go. Oh, that was weird. It's more of that quirkiness I love, I guess. Well, he was easy that time.
Round 3, fight!
Yeah. I always throw it. I don't really like Scorpion's weapon that much. Let's speed this along. Quan Chi. He's kind of difficult when he gets higher up on the list there. Or on the tower. I knew he was going to duck it. Oh, I want your weapon. I always love these weapons. I don't think I'm going to be able to get him, though. Ah! Now I can't. Oh, what was that? Alright, this is ridiculous. I gotta watch out. Sometimes I end up screwing myself over by trying to fight with their weapon just because I want to, and end up obsessing over that too much and end up losing the game. Oh. Ah, I got him. Oh, that was it. Alright, the big boss. It is kind of weird this game lacks a real boss character. I don't know, it's a little odd, and he doesn't even transform into anybody when you fight him. All it is he's just really difficult. You can tell they put his difficult at like the max setting or something. He blocks just about everything. You gotta catch him. A lot of times it's good to catch him on one of the levels with the throwable rocks or stuff on the ground, because he will try to throw them at you, and you can use that as an opportunity to get him. The camera did not work with me on that one. Got him. I'll have to see if I can beat this game on the hardest difficulty one day without continuing. It might be a little difficult. Uh-oh. But yeah, a good time to catch him off guard is when he's grabbing his weapon. If you can run up to him while he's pulling the weapon out, you can get a good combo on him. Ah. Got him. That was pretty easy. I love the endings on this game. I'm going to try not to talk over it, but the movements they make and stuff, I always loved it. It's hilarious how they don't just stand still. They have to be constantly like moving around in the same motion. Here we go.
By defeating you, Sub-Zero, I have avenged the death of my family and clan.
You tell him, Scorpion.
Now my soul can finally rest. Your soul will never
This dude's rolling in his Cadillac or something like he's Dr. Dre right
I
there.
have been responsible for your murder, but your family's true killer still remains free. If you are not the murderer, then who is? I am the one you seek. To defeat my nemesis Sub-Zero, I needed the power of a Spectre. You've done my bidding well, Scorpion. But now I must return you to the Netherrealm.
I love this game. Seriously, I mean, I make fun of it, but I absolutely love this game. It's so weird and goofy. Like, those endings are hilarious. How he's just like constantly doing that, and I don't know. And they just don't stand still. Like I said, when they're not talking, they can't just stand there. He has to be like constantly doing this weird air hump move. Anyway, it's a great game. I was very surprised how many people actually had positive things to say about it when I revealed that I bought this. I thought for sure I'd be like, I shouldn't have made a big deal out of this. People are going to hate this thing. But people really enjoyed it, so I'm happy about that. I definitely want to do some more playthroughs. I can play as many different characters. If you want me to play as a certain character and do a playthrough so you can see the ending and everything, just leave it in a comment. Let me know who you want me to play as, and I'll probably do it in the future. I'm going to try to space it out a little bit so it's not all Mortal Kombat stuff on this channel nonstop. I think after this video or before this video, depending on when it comes out, I'm probably going to do a War Gods playthrough. I say playthrough, I should clarify, I'm not any good at that game. I've tried it, I cannot get good at that game. I think it's way too difficult of a game anyway. But I'm going to play a few matches on it and talk about the game a little bit, and that'll be coming up soon too. Pretty short credits for a game like this. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment telling me which player you'd like me to play through as next time. And subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for watching.
Ha ha ha!